All right, so I'm gonna turn my mic on so that you can see me before we start this. Okay?
Hmm.
Do you see me?
Yeah. What am I looking at?
The fact that I don't have a beard anymore
Oh, yeah. That is
and
quite
my hair is
strange.
short.
Your
I
camera,
know I
like,
look weird.
your,
I thought you'd have more of a visceral reaction where you'd be like, "Wow, my
I,
eyes."
I thought the camera was glitching out, and I didn't like notice it at first.
Yeah. So because I'm on vacation,
I
I
can't
didn't want
look
to
at
be
you.
judged by a million people. So I shaved like the first day I went on vacation. I didn't shave all the way, so it's growing back already. Like I didn't go the opposite way, but
I don't
I'm
like it.
baby faced and shiny, and it's weird, and I hate it. But
You
I
look.
was just gonna leave the mustache, but it was too long, so I went to trim it down, and then I knew I shouldn't have used that like guard that I have, and so it cut it way too short, and then I look like a pedo, and
Yeah.
because it's a real faint mustache and nothing else, and I was like, God damn it. So I shaved it off too, so because I wanted to fit with like the vacation aesthetic of Hawaiian shirts and mustache, but my mustache is gone.
You look so weird. I can't even like look at you.
That's what I was saying. It's weird. I don't like looking at myself either. And you know what's really weird is that I forgot. Like every time I look at myself, I forget what I look like because I'm
Mm.
used to having a beard. I've had one for like 3 years now. Um, just since the last time I shaved it all off, and so every time I go to look at myself in the mirror, I forget that I shaved, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I don't like it.
So
Put it back on.
literally yesterday, I remembered that we were supposed to record today, and I was like, "Oh shit, my beard! Maverick's gonna see it." And I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna turn it into a bit where I hide until it's time to actually record, and then he can see me."
Well, I'm sorry the camera ruined your bit.
Great. All right, so you don't have to look at me. Here, I'll cover it.
Like,
Okay.
it's just get away from me.
Is this better?
What if I just moved my monitor over here so I just don't get to see you?
That's fine.
No, I'm not doing that.
Anyway, all right. So we're gonna do your show and tell in the beginning of the episode this time. That way, people can actually see it. Because last time, I'm sure they didn't watch it.
You mean I can bring it back out?
No,
I'll go get my keychain and whatever else I showed.
no. Do your new one.
What did I show last time besides the
It was
keychain?
Yeah, it was the keychain
Okay.
and your little goobers. And I repeatedly tried to convince you to get you to give me Jet Jaguar, and you refused.
We get to do
Actually, you
some no.
blatantly ignored me, and then you refused.
Hmm. We get to
So,
do some ASMR too while we're at it.
oh yeah.
You like that?
Nope. I wish I still had your prop mustache, because that would at least do something.
So my beautiful, amazing, spectacular girlfriend.
Glazer.
Damn right. I
Yep.
love Glazer, my woman. He's now been released from his prison, so I can show you. But we saw one at FYE, and it was just Mechagodzilla. And I'm like, ah, he's lame, and then I would get it, but I want the whole collection.
Give
The Godzilla Squishmallow. I got the whole collection. They're not really like new anymore, but
new to you.
yeah. And I'm like, they're so cute, especially Mothra. I'll show her last. But Rodan looks like a fucking freak.
I was gonna
Mechagodzilla
say I
is
love
like,
Rodans because he looks awful.
he looks so bad. Here's Mecha G. Wow, that is bright.
I would say he's very shiny.
He's sparkly, but I don't know what light is so bright. I think it's you.
Hold on. Let
It's
me.
reflecting off your face.
Is that better?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
It'd be so funny if you uncovered your face. It was just a flashbang.
uh,
But yeah, G1 Mecha G. But yeah, she like found this somewhere. I think they sold the whole pack of them on Amazon. Like they all came in one box.
okay.
That way you don't have to get just one Mecha Godzilla at FYE and struggle to find the rest forever. Jesus Christ. He
You
is
could
so
make this a little
fucked
bit
up.
faster. You could have like opened them ahead of time.
No.
Oh, okay.
He's so ugly.
He
And
looks
his
like a
little
little
wing.
goober.
And his fucking face.
I know.
Wank.
He looks like Gunter.
And his fucked up spike. But Mothra. I hit the mic. He's so fucking cute.
I see my dimples.
Cringe. I just noticed I threw Rodan on the floor and the rest of them on my bed. Look at her!
Yeah, she cute. Look at her little wings. Mothra looks like Insectosaurus.
Yeah. Which I found, by the way.
Oh.
He was under my bed. Or she was under my bed. But yeah, she's so cute and brown and she has big eyes. So, she got me some Squishmallows, and for her birthday, I got her some Squishables, which I didn't know were different, but they are different.
How are they different?
Squishmallows are those guys with the weird faces, and like they're just the standard pillow guys. Squishables are like the Plague Doctor guys, and like the animals. They're all from the same line. Like they had some bugs that I got her.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, you're frozen.
I think that is.
All right, well, next time we're going to make that a little bit faster. What?
Oh god, it's stuttering so bad.
Well, the good thing about this platform is that it records locally, so you're probably fine on your end.
Anyway,
so good stuff. Today we are going to be talking about the original Godzilla movie, the 1954 Gojira / 1956 Godzilla King of the Monsters.
this isn't a Gojira episode. This is a King of the Monsters episode.
It's the same movie.
No, it is not.
Basically.
Completely different.
What are you talking about?
King of the Monsters?
Not the MonsterVerse one.
Yes, I know. With the white guy.
Yeah. It's the same basic.
They put everything out of order and it's all weird.
I'm gonna talk about it.
Yeah, but we're talking about more than Gojira.
Yeah, whatever. So don't look at me like that. You like that?
Ew.
Yeah.
Your nose is a lot more prominent. It's weird.
I know. When I shaved and I was like looking at it like in the mirror, I was like, I felt like Henry Cavill Superman in the Justice League, because like my mouth just did not look right anymore. I'm not used to seeing my top lip.
What top lip?
I'm not that way. I have more of one than you do.
I got very kissable lips. My girlfriend said so.
Yeah, mine was like, oh, your face is so much more kissable. Anyway, this is what we're talking about. So, let's see. I'm going to pull up my notes. I don't know why it looks like this, but... Alright, so... Where did you go? I've never actually done this before. Can you tell?
No. You look like a professional to me. He's locked the fuck in right now.
Alright. Can you see?
Whoa. Jesus
What?
Christ.
What?
I did not expect it to be on the platform.
Well, I don't know what it looks like, so...
I mean, I see it.
Alright.
I see your money up there, too.
Oh yeah, don't look at her. Block this out. Whatever, it's fine. So these are my notes here. Actually, I don't know if I should show them, because I think it'd be funnier if I didn't, but... Am I still visible?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We're off to the side, and that's like on the big thing.
Okay, so anyway, Godzilla King of the Monsters is the American retelling, essentially, of... Oh, that hurt. I don't know what I did. Okay, anyway. Ignore that.
Everyone laugh at his pain. There's a bug
I
in
don't
it.
know what happened. I tried to crack my knuckle and my whole finger vibrated.
I just killed a bug on my monitor. Oh, gross.
All right. This is already chaotic. Anyway, King of the Monsters is the American retelling of the 1954 Gojira movie. And in order to Americanize it, they included this white man protagonist named Steve Martin, who is the whitest name ever. I know that he's also an actor, a beloved actor, like from the movie Cheaper by the Dozen, as well as the hit Hulu TV series Only Murders in the Building. Also, the Pink Panther, which Maverick is very familiar with.
I am. You don't need to call that out.
Well, they need a little bit of Maverick lore.
Really don't.
Anyway, so my second note here says that the whole movie is now a flashback. That's technically incorrect. Only 90% of the movie is a flashback.
Oh, like Persona 5.
Anyway, because like the movie begins with rubble and Steve Martin is underneath the rubble and he starts monologuing immediately about how this is the worst thing to ever happen in the world and how he is a victim. And so he starts telling the story from the beginning. I don't know why they didn't just start there, but this is what they do. So he says that he stops into Tokyo on the way to Cairo, Egypt. And I was so bothered by that fact for some reason that I went and looked up if Cairo was actually on the way to Tokyo, or Tokyo is on the way to Cairo. And technically it is if you leave from California, I think. So that means that he has to be from California and not like New York or something.
In the 50s? I mean, I know there was people in California in the 50s, but it's like...
What do you mean? Of course there was.
I know,
California...
but it just feels like it'd be more of like an East Coast thing that they'd...
Yeah, and like the way he talks too, but
Yeah.
you know, whatever. So he also says that he and Sarazawa were college roommates
They were getting freaky.
for some reason. I don't know why this like genius scientist I don't know what biologist. I don't remember what his actual title is. I guess it would be. But I don't know why he would be college roommates with a reporter. I think it's just like like OC syndrome where you're related to the main character somehow. I know from writing my own stories back in the day. And that's what I told Imani. I was like, I accidentally lore dropped about my old Percy Jackson fanfic that I wrote. Not that I had anything with Percy Jackson, except that I was his cousin, but like on his mom's side, but my name was completely different. And then it was like a whole thing. So,
Hey, I made one too. It's okay.
you did?
I did.
Oh, God. I don't remember that. You must not have told me.
I didn't.
I can see why.
I was the son of Zeus.
Oh, nice. Oh, I do remember that, actually, I think. Yeah, but of course, I made myself OP. I was like the child of Gaia, so I had like basically every power. And that was before the Heroes of Olympus actually adapted her. So it turned out she was evil. But anyway.
I would be too if I was Earth. I'm gonna be so honest.
That's fair enough. But anyway, so I think it's funny because immediately Steve gets pulled aside and they give him an errand boy. So someone just goes and fetches him things, some Japanese guy. And then for some reason they flag him just because as he was flying into Tokyo, he was asleep, I'm pretty sure. Or he was like writing or something. But it just happened to be at the same time that Godzilla sank that ship in the beginning. So they're like, hey, we're interviewing everyone that was on the boat or everyone that was coming in at this time. Did you see anything? And he was like, no. And they're like, okay, well, why don't you follow us anyway? And then he just kind of explains, he's like, well, what's going on here? I am a reporter, so I would like to know. And they are just like, hey, we shouldn't tell you this, but here's everything that's going on, this top secret information. Oh, I wrote that down here. So I said that he gets involved in the story because his plane was about to land as a boat exploded. And he's a reporter, so he's allowed to see this stuff. So, yeah, they just are like, oh, okay. And they just give him access to everything. So that's cool. And then The next thing is the movie is made up of clips from Gojira, and they have a Japanese American actor just translate the entire movie. So he makes friends with this guy who's supposed to be like the leader of this like investigation team or whatever, except he never interacts with the rest of the cast. He's just there to translate the movie that has already been translated because it has
Oh yeah,
subtitles.
I remember now. Because
And
remember, we
so
only watched. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but me and him started watching it, and then we got like interrupted. So I only remember like a half of this movie. I've seen it like years ago. I was still a kid, so I don't
yeah,
remember much. But when we rewatched it, it was just like a scene from Gojira happens, and then it cuts to a better quality looking picture
yeah,
of Steve and that guy just being like, "Oh, they're doing this because this happened," and he's just like, "Oh,"
yeah. Like they're literally just posted up against the wall, like leaning up against the wall, chilling, and
because they're
then
supposed to be out the way.
yeah, but they do that a lot. And so they come in, and it's the scene like right after where um, the real investigative team is like talking about what happened and whatever. And so, but they're all yelling at each other in Japanese because it's like supposed to be like a dramatic scene. There's like families that are that are crying and desperate because they're trying to find out what happened, and they're like, "We can't tell you. We don't even know what's going on." But all of that is lost because there's just a guy like, "Yeah, this boat sank," and they're like trying to figure out what's going on. They don't know, and Steve's just like, "Okay, yeah, okay."
Doesn't he
Um,
also keep like relaying this to his boss back in America?
that's later on, yeah. So let's see here. It says none of the Japanese characters have a character anymore. They're just background people.
Mm-hmm.
So none of the characters from the original movie really have any character to them. They're just there. Um, the girl Yamane, Sarazawa. We don't really meet until later. He's just bland and generic. Um, the captain guy, like that we meet later, her like boyfriend. He's not even a person. He's just there.
Mm-hmm.
He talks like once or twice, and then he like fights Sarazawa later on and gets beat up,
Yeah, I remember.
which is even funnier in the dub just because of the way they talk. Um, but anyway, well, I can't. I guess it's
And
technically not a dub because that is the movie, but they are dubbed over. Which is
and that
another thing
one,
that's
the Survivor guy too, the bald guy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's nothing in this
Mm-hmm.
movie. He's just there. Like he has such a tragic story about how his family's like killed in front of him and all this stuff. All that's just like you still see that happen, but nothing about him is relevant anymore.
Yeah.
Um, and then so I have another like OC moment here where it says that he met Yamane through Sarazawa years ago. So because he was roommates with Sarazawa, he knows Yamane,
Who was
who
Sarazawa's colleague?
yeah, even though he's older than Sarazawa. Oh, Yamane, yeah, he's the doctor, but the
Mm-hmm.
daughter is who I was talking about.
Emiko.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which there's that super jarring scene where he wakes up and he talks to her, and she's very clearly a different actress, and then it cuts to her, and then
Yeah.
she's very poorly dubbed. Awful.
Because you always see people who like on their back.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in this movie. I made a couple notes of that, I think.
Where it's like you see
Sorry,
a
she was
scene
trying to
happen.
bring me dinner.
You see a scene happen, and it's like the back of them doing something or like talking, and then it will cut to a scene of King of the Monsters, like a new scene where they're just like that.
Well, you know I can't see you, but yeah.
You can't see me.
No, I can't. All I see is my screen.
Oh.
So,
But they just kind of like stand there, and then like they're either dubbed over or they're dubbed from their back.
yeah. I have that somewhere cuz
Let's see one of your notes. That's funny.
no, don't look. Don't look. It's spoilers. Um and then so anyway, yeah, so he met Yamane through Sarazawa, so that means that him and Yamane are cool now. So he's got
Mm.
another in. Um all Steve add-in scenes just have random Asian actors there. So they just literally just have them as background people. They're like, anybody that's Asian, get in this shot right now.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact that a couple of them, I mean, I don't, but I just have a feeling that, 1950s Hollywood was just like, you're Asian, get in this movie.
I don't care that you're Chinese. Get in here.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're Chinese, Filipino, all you yellow bellies look the same. Get in this fucking shot. We're gonna pay you $2, and you're gonna be happy about it. It's like Jesus Christ. And like I said, I'm making a lot of generalizations, but that's how it feels.
You also just casually dropped a slur, so that's cool.
Well, it's because I'm being an old white man. Clearly, that was part of the bit, Maverick.
Of course, saying a slur is always okay if it's part of a bit.
Yeah, I was getting in character. Don't worry. Not too awkward. Let's just move on immediately. Let's see here. What else we got here? Oh yeah, they have a bunch of Japanese stereotypes on Odo Island. So all the scenes where they have Steve, they have people just dressed up in like the most typical stereotypical Japanese apparel possible. There's even a scene where I did skip over that. But there's also a scene where they first hear about like Godzilla or something when they go to the island and on Odo Island, and he's like, "Oh man, that guy must have had too much sake." And it's like, "Oh, okay." It's just super dated. Let's see what else we got here. The human sacrifice ritual, they cut that entire thing out. So because in the original Gojira movie, they have like this dance, and so this old Japanese guy is drunk, and he's like, back in my day, this is what we did, and it was a whole ritual where we would sacrifice human women to Godzilla or to Gojira, and they would, and that's how they would appease him, right? Mm-hmm. And so the whole dancing ritual is like the only thing left from that. So they don't like do human sacrifices anymore.
And he was pissed off that he didn't get to kill virgins anymore.
Yeah, he's like, back in my day, we did it the right way. And so they cut that whole part out. Instead, he just talks about, and he doesn't sound as drunk. Well, he sounds more drunk, but like in a different way. And then he talks about he talks about something completely unrelated, but he does still mention Gojira. But he says, I think he says Godzilla straight up instead of Gojira. And then they're like, "Oh, did you hear that? Godzilla." And it's like, "Oh, okay." Oh no, wait, no, I think he is still speaking Japanese. I don't think they dubbed him. And then Translator Man is like telling him what he's saying, but like I said, it's not an accurate translation. And then he was like, "Gojira," and he's like, "What did he say?" And he's like, "Oh, he's called it Godzilla," which is obviously not the same. And then I also have here that Steve is always smoking, whether that be cigarettes or a pipe. Literally every scene he's in, he's either holding a pipe, lighting a cigarette, smoking, or some combination of that.
Because he's cool.
Yeah, clearly.
He's the cool white guy. He's got to keep smoking.
It's funny, though, because he's built like Donald Trump. Like, his suit doesn't fit. He's not, like, a muscular, like, heroic guy. Like, he's no like cowboy type guy. What's that famous cowboy actor guy's name?
Clint Eastwood?
No. Well, yes, but no. The one older than him. John Wayne. That's what I'm talking about. John Wayne. A real man's man. But anyway. So then it cuts to them. They're still on Odo Island. So this is after the fact. So they're sleeping, right? And then this is when Godzilla first shows up. But so it keeps showing scenes from from Gojira where it's raining. It's like a monsoon, and so everywhere that it shows, it's raining. It's raining cats and dogs, right? Excuse me. And then it shows Steve and translator guy. I really don't even have his name written down anywhere because I don't remember it. But they're just like sleeping in the tent, and Steve was smoking again.
He was smoking while he was sleeping. He was laying down just...
Well, he was, cartoonishly. No, he was just laying there. He wasn't sleeping yet, but he was smoking in his tent. And I'm like, bro.
You're gonna catch it on fire, dude.
I know. So anyway, it starts. They're like, "Oh man, this wind is really picking up. Oh, it's raining," and they're like, "Ugh," like it's raining in their face, but there's no rain around them. It's completely dry where they are. And then it was funny because me and Imani were talking about that, and then all of a sudden it cuts to them. They get blasted with rain. It's like they're just shooting rain directly at them, like with a big hose, like because they're sitting there like, like in the sea. It's so funny
They're
because
supposed to
it
go
goes from
down, out
like
of my face.
I know they're like bone dry, and then cut to them immediately. It's like they heard me, and then they're getting blasted with rain.
This guy's onto us. We forgot the rain.
Yeah.
Get him. Get out the hose.
Oh my god, it's so funny because he like literally keeps trying to open his mouth. He's like, oh, no," and then he's like spitting water out. He's like getting waterboarded. Oh my god. I bet he was so pissed after that. After that, like they cut, he was drenched. Oh my god. Anyway, whew, the next one. So this is more of a critique of the actual original movie, and not necessarily this one. But the storm, I don't know what that has to do with Godzilla, because it's not like he created the storm.
He is the natural disaster.
Is that what it is? Because the storm still happens. Like a helicopter, a very obvious toy helicopter, like blows over. But
This is the 50s, dude.
well, I know, but I'm just saying, like the rain is so bad that it like almost knocks these houses over in the wind and stuff. And then we see Godzilla, and then he knocks over that bald kid's house.
I think it's a mixture of a lot of different things where it's like a storm happens and he comes up,
Yeah.
or symbolism for him being just a walking disaster,
Yeah.
where just
I guess
his
that
mere
makes sense.
presence is just causing this destruction everywhere.
Yeah, like I said, it does make sense, and it also doesn't because the like every other time that he shows up, it's not a storm. So if that was something they were going to carry over, I just thought that they would have done it more than once. But
It could
and
also just be
then
raining when he decides that he's hungry or whatever.
I guess so.
He needed his sacrifice.
Yeah, he's pissed. He's like, "Hey, you guys used to give me people. What the hell?" Um, although apparently, I don't know if you know this, but when like one of Toho's rules for Godzilla movies is that he's not allowed to eat people.
Mhm.
He can only eat fish, which is why the 1998 movie had him eat a lot of fish, but he never eats anything other than fish and radiation, I guess.
Yeah, he's only supposed to eat radiation. Like, he's supposed to have radiation lore. And I think he's only supposed to have like 3 toes or something like that, which isn't true anymore, I think. Because I think Shin has like, he has like 6. He's got like a toe on top of his foot.
Yeah, but
I think -1 also has like 4 or 5.
I don't know. But the
And that's also why -1, when he
Didn't
was in
eat
his
those
proto
guys.
form, yeah, he just kind of threw him.
which made me mad. I wanted to see him eat them.
Nah.
But
It'd be
anyways,
so weird to see it happen now, out of all this time,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Because even Gorosaurus in Heisei didn't do that shit. And he was
What,
an
eat
actual
people?
dinosaur. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
And Godzilla Jr. was eating hamburgers.
True. Well, he wasn't a real Godzilla yet, so he didn't have to do that.
You're right, yes.
Let's see. The next thing I have here is after all that happens, they skip over the Odo Island testimonies for Steve narration. So when they give their like account of what happened, including the bald kid that's like, my family died, my house is destroyed, all this other like sad shit. It's just Steve narrating about
Yeah.
how terrible it is and how it affected him.
Because he's the
like-
victim. Because he's white.
Yeah, obviously. And then so after that, Steve runs into Yamane in the hallway, and so it's a body double, like you were saying, where you only see the back of him, and like Steve's looking down to talk to him because he's like 6 foot something, and this guy is like maybe 5'2", and so, but I guess because they're trying to keep up the illusion of him not like not seeing that it's not the real actor,
Hmm.
he just looks dead on. So Steve's like up here, right? I don't know if you can see my hand. So Steve's like up here. This guy's looking like this. Like he
He's
doesn't
looking
look
at.
up to talk to Steve. He just looks straight ahead.
He's
He
trying to look
doesn't
at his
look at
tits.
Steve once. Like he's just looking like at his chest when he's talking the whole time. And it's super obvious because you do see him for like a second. He looks like a completely different guy. I think even his skin tone is different. They just slapped a wig on him and glasses, and they're like, all right, you're this guy now. So
I mean, you don't want to stare at Steve's tits.
no, I don't.
More
What
for
else
that
do we
guy
got?
then.
Steve has been cleared by the security office to go to the Odo Island destruction for some reason. So because he's already been around, and I guess he's like dating translator guy now or whatever. So because they were sharing a tent or like right next to each other.
They were exploiting each other's bodies.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a history with that. If him and Sarazawa were roommates, you know.
I have another joke about that. Don't look.
Okay.
So, I'm getting ahead. I'm reading ahead too. But anyway, so they're just like, oh yeah, he's good. He can come with us to this potentially dangerous and destroyed island.
And radioactive.
Obviously, well, they don't find out it's radioactive till after. Like they examine that footprint, and then they're like, hey, this is radioactive. Everybody needs to get out of here. And then they're like, ah, and then they still
don't
stay
move.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's like, hey, this is very dangerous. Like, your water could be affected. And they're like, ah. And then they don't leave.
My water can be affected. Oh, no.
Oh, well. But that's in the original movie, too. But Yamane just speaks English the whole time. Everyone else speaks Japanese, so they just dubbed over him. Let's see. So when Godzilla shows up, at first, everyone... Oh, wait. I think I might have put these out of order. But, so when Godzilla first comes back up, and he starts stomping around, everybody starts running away, and Steve stops for a second because he's tired and out of breath, and then he starts up again, and I'm like, why? Like, did they just have to... So, either he really needed to do that, or it was just, they did that, and then continued on, because... He doesn't do anything. For the drama. He says he doesn't talk. It doesn't cut to anything else. It's just him running. He stops. He's like, he like loosens up his tie, and then he keeps going. He's like, okay. I don't know why they included that scene. I don't know. I mean, to humanize him, but he's supposed to be like this white hero man. I guess I don't know.
I guess it's because it's a tropical island and he's in a suit. I don't know.
So, but then when Godzilla pops, because I don't know, I'm trying to remember, but I think they're running away, and then Godzilla pops his head up over the hill, and he looks all scrunkly, which is so
I
cute.
love that design. He's so cute.
It's so weird looking. But then everyone else runs away, and Steve just stands there and looks at him. He's just like staring down Godzilla for some reason. Later on, he says it's because it was like one of the most terrifying things he's ever seen, but like in the moment he's just like
what a funny looking guy that is.
Yeah, he's just mean looking at him. He's like, wow, look at that thing.
He thinks he's Sarazawa.
And then so my next note here says that security guy and Emiko both trip to be saved by their boyfriends, because Emiko trips first, and then soldier guy picks him up, or soldier boy picks up Emiko, and then they keep running. And then immediately after that, the security office guy trips, and then Steve picks him up, and they run. It's like damsel in distress. Damsel in distress. All right, let's go.
Of course.
So after that, like after they leave Odo Island and stuff, Steve calls Sarazawa directly, and he stands with his face obscured so you can't see him talk. So he like gets up, walks away. And then this might be like movie magic, because it's definitely Sarazawa when he's standing there, but then he like goes away, and then it's someone else. So he's like facing the wall or something like that, so that you can't see him, or he's like behind something, so you can't see his face. So it's probably another body double, or they just were like, here, have this guy stand here, that way we can use it for later. Um, Man, I'm really funny. So the next thing is Sarazawa casually tells Emiko that he has to show her something. He's like, "Hey, come downstairs. I want to show you something." She's like, "Oh, okay." And that something is man-made horrors beyond her comprehension,
Mm.
which
And
we find
that's
out is the oxygen destroyer. But it's just like, he's just like, "Oh, hey, I want to show you something. Come here." She's like, "Oh, okay." And then he kills those fish and vaporizes them, and then she's just
yeah.
like, "Oh!" And she lets out that scream.
This is different from Gojira, I think, because this may be out of order, but she like keeps bugging him about his research. Imiko keeps bugging Serizawa about it
Hmm.
because I think she knows
He's up to
something.
something.
Yeah, because he's like not talking to her like he normally did, and it's like because they were gonna get what did I say? They're like gonna get married,
Yeah, they're engaged.
but it's like a prerequisite engagement. Like she didn't like love him like she did the soldier guy, but it was
Yeah,
just gonna happen. I don't know why.
arranged marriage,
Yeah, that's what it
basically.
is.
Um,
But so she was like knew something was up, and she was like, "Dude, what's going on? You gotta show me." He's like, "No, what I'm doing's fucked up. You don't want to see this." And she was like, "Oh, please, I want to see." So he's like, "All right, bet."
yeah,
Scars
no,
are for life.
that's not what happens. She goes there to tell him that they need to break up because she loves the soldier guy,
Mm.
and then instead he's just like, she doesn't say that, and then he's like, "Hey, come here, I want to show you something," and he says it basically just like that too, because again, it's the dub,
Yeah,
and so that's when he shows her that, and then it's just completely glossed over until later because Imani was like, "What did he show her?" And I was like, "It shows it later."
I was gonna say, did they actually show the fish and stuff this time, or because I
No,
know
that's not
that
until
is
later.
later. Yeah,
She has a flashback to what happened. She tells Steve and her boyfriend,
just a
I think.
flashback.
Yeah, like she
I,
tells them what she saw when she was there. Because I'll get to it.
I thought in Gojira she takes Steve. That's not his name. The soldier guy. She like takes him to Sarazawa and be like, show
That's
him
later.
what you showed me, and then that's when we see the fish get vaporized and they fight.
Oh well, maybe that's changed. I don't know because the in this version she, oh, which I'm skipping to. You're making me skip my notes.
Sorry.
But when they uh she tells them about it because they're like, this is the only thing that can probably kill Godzilla. So she tells them about what she saw, and then you see it, and then that's when. Uh, Let me just get to it. Let me just get to it.
Well, keep going in order first. We'll go back to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just want to continue. Ba, 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 ba. So Yamane adopted the kid that's family died on Odo Island. So not actually, but like the kid with the bald head or the shaved head that lost his family. Yamane adopts him, I guess, because he's just chilling there at their house, which is nice.
I think that's what happens in the original too. I
Well,
don't
I'm
think they.
sure, yeah.
I don't think they directly say it though.
No, because they didn't address it in the movie either. He's just there with them, and I was like, oh, that's nice.
Mm,
Like it's just something I appreciated. This isn't necessarily a critique. It's just something I noticed.
yeah.
Um, Godzilla picks up the whole bridge, so like he just picks up a bridge. I think with his hands. Um, so it was just kind of funny that he
So
just.
you're just skipping the part where that Godzilla is now attacking everything for like the rest of the movie.
Oh well, yeah, I guess because when. Yeah, he just picks up a bridge. He just shows up. He's like, "Hey guys, can I have this?" All right, bye.
Yeah, it just
No,
goes
yeah,
home.
Godzilla attacks again. And then
This time in Tokyo.
yeah. And then so he picks up the entire bridge, like I said, which I just thought was strange. That's why I guess that's why I noted it. I don't really remember. But whenever Steve talks to Japanese people, he always says sayonara, which is just kind of. I get
Rude.
that he's in Japan, but it's just kind of funny because it's like, us white people at Mexican restaurants where it's like, hola, gracias, thank you, when they bring you your big ass margarita bomb. So
Hey, she was
I don't know. I'm just
she
picking
was
on
drunk.
Steve.
Okay,
Yeah, I know. But it was just
she
funny
wasn't.
because I like picking on Steve. So, one thing that I noted here also is that Godzilla might be nocturnal just because in this movie he only attacks at night. I don't know if that was just like in real world, because it's easier to hide things at night. That's why a lot of movies will shoot scenes at night.
That's what Heisei did a lot of the time too. At least in
That's true.
Destroya.
That's true, actually.
No,
I just
Space
think it
Godzilla
helped.
and
It
Mecha
might
Godzilla
just
too.
be more dynamic. Like it just looks a little bit better. Like they can do the effects and the explosions and stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
I think Godzilla versus King Ghidorah is the only movie that I remember at least where it was during the daytime. Some of the scenes.
yeah. Um, and then I don't remember the context, but I have move it, white man coming through. So I'm guessing Steve just like brushed past some people and left. So my
But
next note here says that
right.
Godzilla had black eyes in some of his atomic breath scenes, which might have been what Shin Godzilla was referencing, because his eyes go black right before he does his atomic breath.
Hmm.
I don't know if that was intentional or not for the suit, but when he's like using his atomic breath, and at first I thought it was only the one scene, but then I don't know if they were reusing the footage or not, but like multiple
Maybe.
times when he's attacking, he has black eyes when he does it. Um, in like this movie. So that's why I was like, maybe Shin Godzilla referenced that, like deliberately.
No, this movie referenced Shin Godzilla.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. Got you.
They have to reference Peak.
And then the Japanese broadcast team, the one that you like to talk about, where they're like up on the tower and they're like, "Oh my God, this is our last broadcast." Blah, blah, blah,
Hmm.
blah. They don't translate that at all, so it's just them yelling in Japanese out into the void before they die.
Mm.
Like none of that gets translated. Like they don't subtitle it, they don't dub it over. Steve doesn't say anything about it. Nothing. It's just there. So it's just them yelling. So
That's
you lose
rough.
all of that, like the weight of that. Um, After that, I have Steve does not evacuate with everyone else, and he gets trapped in the rubble. So he's in this like throughout the movie, he's like hanging out in this building. I guess it's like a news station or something there. Um,
This is when he calls his like boss, right?
Yeah, this is where he like calls him and he like types up his stuff, and his notes and whatever.
This is
But
also where the movie starts, right?
yeah,
This is like when the flashback occurs. That's the
no,
whole beginning
he's
of the movie.
no. He's he wakes up from the rubble. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Hmm.
technically, this is where the movie starts is after he's trapped. But but this like newsroom, there's other people there. Some of them are Japanese, some of them are like other people, and they all like get up and run out. For some reason, Steve just doesn't, and then
He's got to
the
finish his
building.
paper.
But he's not doing anything. He's literally just standing there. Like he looks out at the Godzilla carnage, and then he's just like, "Ah, man, we should really get out of here, huh?" And then
Sucks to be those guys. It won't happen to
yeah,
me.
and then I forget what happens. Either Godzilla tail whacks it, or it just through collateral damage just gets like the ceiling collapses and hits him and traps him under there. Um, and so because he just didn't leave, he gets trapped. Everyone else made it out, or at least out of the room. Maybe they got trapped when the building collapsed, like in a hallway or something. But like they're not trapped in that room,
No, because he stayed. He survived. Everyone else died.
I guess.
He knew better. He knew.
He's like, I'm the main character.
Exactly.
What else do I have here?
They don't translate the mom.
Yeah, they don't translate the mom. So you're another one that you mentioned when we did the what was that?
Minus
Minus
one.
one
The
review.
mom, like, crying over her kids and is like, we're going to join daddy.
Yeah, they don't
Oh my
translate
god.
that. Like one of the most depressing like mood setting things in that entire movie. She just is just talking to them in Japanese. You don't get the context of what they're saying. It
Oh
still shows it,
man.
but you don't know anything about what she says. Um,
That's fucked.
yeah. So then after that, Steve has like a bandage around his head, and this is when Emiko talks to them about what she saw, like what Sarazawa did. So Steve is the one that sends Emiko and her boyfriend to Sarazawa to get him to use the oxygen destroyer. So it takes the decision out of Emiko and makes Steve the one that drove that.
Hmm.
So, and then I wrote down here that Sarazawa is moved by the power of prayer.
Yeah, that happens in the Gojira too.
I know, but it's just kind of funny because them praying and all those kids singing the chorus and stuff is what makes him be like, God damn it.
I mean,
Which I
I
get it.
would too, because
Yeah.
if you have the one thing that will save everyone for the most part, and you see all the destruction that he does, and it's like, this will happen again. I have the only thing that can stop it.
Yeah. But
I love
I don't know if
Gojira
they
so
even
much.
translate the song though.
Probably not.
So they just are like praying and stuff, and then everyone just kind of like sits around. They do translate part of the broadcast of like talking about what happened and stuff, and like the stats of like how many people died and all that stuff.
Godzilla's end the game stats,
Yeah,
his KD ratio.
play of the game. Um, but yeah, so after that, Sarazawa was just like, "All right, fine," and so he goes and does his stuff.
They didn't talk about their fight.
Oh, you're right, I didn't. So when it's before that. So when
Hmm.
they go there to talk to him, they she tells him that they need to do it, and he's like, this is basically when they're like, hey, this is the only thing that might kill Godzilla, like actually, because like our weapons are ineffective and all this other stuff. um and so they start shoving each other and they fight, and Sarazawa beats this guy's ass, like he
Hmm.
knocks him out. Like his head's all bloody and everything, and then they're just like cool after that. Like I said, I don't know if it was because of the way the dub plays it, but Sarazawa was just like, all right, cool, all right.
Because basically, Serizawa was like, "No, I don't want to do this," and then he was like, "Bro, you're being an asshole right now, Serizawa. We need this." And then it escalates to physical violence. And I thought it was Serizawa that got hurt. Was it the
No,
soldier guy?
this soldier guy, Sarazawa beats his ass.
That's pretty funny.
It is. Um,
Got beat by a nerd.
and so, like I said, after that's when he sees the prayer thing, and then he's like, all right, fine. And then so he goes down there with the soldier guy, and they Steve's on the boat because of course he is. Um, but so Steve, not Steve, Sarazawa and the other guy, the boyfriend, they go down there, and they're looking for Godzilla, and they eventually find him, and he's like sleeping. He's like curled up. Um, and then
He
so
like
they
kind of
start.
looks
What?
behind him.
Yeah, he looks behind him, and then I don't know if he sees them, but he knows something's. I think he can feel that something's up,
Hmm.
and so he starts walking around underwater, which is what I have here. So he's like full standing, like vertical, just like walking around on I guess, the bottom of the ocean, which is weird because we never see that, and I'm guessing it was just the technology at the time.
I think
He's
it's
just,
kind of cool though because he's so heavy.
but he's also small. Like this is like the smallest Godzilla, I think, other than
Yeah,
-1.
but he's still a giant thing of mass. So it's like
Well, yeah,
I can understand how he could. I don't understand how he could float, but he can float and swim. But I think if he wants to, he can just stand on the bottom of the ocean.
yeah, but it was just different from like seeing him like swimming or something like that.
Hmm.
So, but like I said, it's probably just also a technology thing because they can't have him like crocodile swim. But excuse me.
I know I've
So I
mentioned
just
Heisei before, but um, well, he does fight in the daytime in Showa. I meant to say that earlier, but I forgot.
oh yeah, a lot of times like almost all the movies take place during the day, and they're like early Showa movies just because they're a little bit more cartoony and
I don't
family
remember
friendly.
him swimming at all in Heisei and Showa. Like I know he does, and they like say that he does, but I know him swimming with like his spice out of the water is the thing that happens in Millennium and
He does in
Legendary.
Heisei. He swims a little bit in Heisei where he'll like come up, but a lot of times it's just him walking in and out of the water. It doesn't really show
Yeah,
him
that's
too
what I'm
too much.
thinking.
Yeah,
So he might be
it's
walking underwater.
maybe it's hard to really say, just because they don't show it. But
No, I think they do have him being like sleeping under there in one scene.
we'll find out when we watch them all.
We did watch
Um,
them all.
huh?
We did watch the Millenniums recently in Showa. I guess it has been a little bit now.
You mean Heisei? Because we haven't watched any Millenniums
Yeah,
together.
Heisei
So
and Showa.
yeah. Well, if you would get your life together, we could do this a lot faster.
I'm trying. It's so horrible.
But anyway, and then this is not really a funny thing. It's actually kind of sad. But Godzilla dies a slow and painful death, and then he just, as he's dying, he's like,
Sorry.
"What?"
Oh, that's right. You can't see me. See me.
Yeah.
I was showing my Godzilla shirt.
Oh. But Godzilla dies a slow and painful death before instantly becoming a skeleton. So like it shows him like bubbling and stuff, and he like comes up and he's like screaming, and it's really sad. And like it's like God, I know you're not supposed to feel bad for him, but you do just because.
He's just an animal. Like he doesn't know. He's an animal.
Yeah.
That's another thing I like about Gojira. They don't really say it, but it's just like he's got no thoughts that we do. He just like he comes up on land, notices these people, feels the radiation and stuff that they, he probably knows caused him to be this way, and he's pissed off and he's angry. He's just an animal that doesn't know any better, and I guess is aggressive because of the way he was treated and grew.
Well, and they attacked him too. So,
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Shin does a lot.
Well, I was just gonna say, because -1, he does attack the ships and stuff, and like, there's new stuff that's come out since we talked about that. But,
which I think is really cool.
One of the things is that, like, I didn't think about until after was like the first time he does his atomic breath on land and not just like blowing up a ship is after they shoot him with
I
like
said
tanks
that.
and stuff. No, I know, but like,
And same thing when he was on the boat was because they shot him off the boat and then he. But
well, he had blown up other boats prior to that though. They just didn't show it. But anyway, and then
no, hold on. Then the new thing that came out was that he feels an actual sense of resentment towards humanity because of getting directly nuked, pretty much.
yeah,
Like with the testing, it like hit him, and he recognizes the fact that humans did that, and he's pissed off.
yeah,
Like he's actually has a will instead of just being an animal.
yeah, and he like actively was retaliating.
Mm-hmm.
So
As compared to Shin, who was literally just a scared animal who's afraid of his own body.
yeah, but still clearly not as intelligent as like legendary Godzilla.
Yeah.
Who has like thoughts and feelings and internal monologues apparently in the books. So.
Yeah.
But the what was I gonna say? The other thing, I know
like
we're getting
both
off on
versions.
tangents, but the other thing was that apparently the Godzillasaurus form that he had instant regen too, and that's how he survived the nuclear testing,
Yeah.
and that's what caused his body to evolve like that. So I don't really like that he had instant regen then.
I
So
do.
unless he's just some freak specimen, or he had absorbed some radiation prior to this. Like,
That's what I'm thinking. Because he was also, in dinosaur standards, he's still fucked up. So I think it may be like Gorosaurus in Heisei or whatever, where he was already kind of exposed to radiation. Yeah. So he was already kind of exposed, and maybe that's how he got his regeneration. But when he got bombed directly, his regeneration tried to bring him back to his original form as much as it could as it was mutating.
Mm-hmm.
So he just got completely fucked by his own body.
Yeah, and that's kind of why his scales look like that. Apparently, like that. So he just looks like scarred and messed up. That's why he's like different colors and stuff like that.
It's kind of like Deadpool,
Yeah, basically.
where it's like killing him as fast as he's regenerating, so he's just got fucked up.
yeah. Because I had to explain that. Because me and Imani watched the first Deadpool not that long ago, and she didn't understand or she couldn't remember why he looked like that after his when his abilities kicked in, and they do make it seem way too fast in that. But basically, his body's healing the cancer as fast as it's killing him, and because he has super cancer.
It was weird because he like looked fine from what I remember before he went in there. So it's like when his stuff activated, his cancer got like super bad.
I guess.
So like his cancer got worse and his regeneration kicked in. So
Or unless it was like, because he was still dying of cancer. Like he did look terrible. Like he was sweaty and skinny and sunken in. But
But he wasn't like a
yeah, he wasn't like a
nutsack.
testicle.
Yeah.
But it's just funny because maybe it is just because his healing kicked in and then it was trying to fight the cancer. Because that's what it is essentially. Is that it's like just tearing his body apart from the inside out. That's why he looks like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, apparently that's what minus Godzilla or yeah minus Goji is. So
That's so
that
cool.
does lead into the fact that he most likely is going to look different in the next movie, in like Godzilla plus two or whatever. Um, so he's probably going to look different. I hope not. Maybe just update his design a little bit, make him just bigger.
I think he
'Cause the
needs to be
director-
a little more skinny.
Yeah, the director did say he's open to him fighting other monsters. They just had to like get the rights and stuff because apparently they're giving them a way bigger budget.
Which, oh my god.
I know.
Because if it looked that good with that budget.
Exactly. So, because he knows how to work with such a small budget, that a bigger budget, he'll just put it all into the creature design and then still do everything cheap, hopefully. And he doesn't
Yeah.
just like get greedy. But
I have faith.
anyway, so let's just finish this out. So it says that no existential. You get that?
Mm-hmm.
No existential crisis or warning at the end. Just Godzilla and Serizawa die. That's it. Like, I don't even think I can't remember specifically, so I might be wrong. But I don't even think that Steve really says anything about like Serizawa.
No, but I know he says stuff about Godzilla where he's like, "Yup, the threat is finally gone. We can rest safe now."
Yeah, basically, he
And
does say something like that.
In contrast to Godzilla or Gojira, where he's like, Steve doesn't say this because he doesn't exist, but
No, Steve is always there.
the old guy who is like, this will happen again if we don't stop. Like, we need to get this under control. We need to stop doing our dick measuring contest with radiation and just like be peaceful, or else this will happen again. Because Godzilla is also kind of like a metaphor for a nuke. It's being made by nukes, but he's also like the representation of the disaster that occurs. And so it's like, if we keep doing this, we're just going to get more and more tragedy. And then we have fucking Steve being like, yep,
Glad
We're all
that's
good
over.
now.
I can go home. I can go back to Egypt where I was supposed to go this whole time.
and
Time to
America
get out of
can
here. I lost
keep
my college best friend, but it is what it is, baby.
us white people can still keep doing nuclear testing. Don't worry, people in America. Now that you finally get to see this movie, you're okay. This isn't your fault.
Nope.
This was just a monster movie. No
No
bigger
other
message than
underlying
that.
message.
No, of course not.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. It was comically bad at some points, and of course, I just like to nitpick things. Like, we love Mystery Science Theater. Literally, that's one of the only Pluto channels I have saved other than Godzilla, and he saved a couple of them, but
Kamen Rider and Transformers.
yeah. But, well, it's just Toku in general, because, like, Ultraman was on the other night.
I was watching a little bit of Kamen Rider, the first or whatever, the first show.
Oh, yeah.
It's silly.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had like a whole group of kids following him around, and relied on them for child labor.
Sounds about right. My goat, for real.
Gotta love Hongo.
Yep. So we're coming up on an hour. We're not going to make this one 2 hours long. So let's
gotta
just
go
go
anyway.
ahead and. Huh?
I gotta go anyway.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, you might try to bring me dinner, I guess, or something earlier, but I couldn't pause this. So
Yeah, I gotta eat, and I gotta go to my girlfriend's house for the weekend.
shameful.
We're gonna be building furniture.
When we get back from our vacation, try and watch Raids again so we can talk about that. Or watch it with her. I don't care. Again, force her. Strap her down.
No.
No kinky.
Well,
No.
I should have watched Gojira again before this. I mean, I still remember most of it for the most part.
I said you've seen it way more times than I have at this point.
Yeah. I got a little bit of the names mixed up. It's because you have to like read it. Some stuff gets a little jumbled up. I don't apparently I haven't watched the like shut up. I haven't watched like the my phone went off.
I was like, I wasn't talking. Please, sir, don't hurt me.
Apparently, I think I didn't watch the uncut version of the movie.
Is there one?
Yeah, there's like an uncut version, and that's the thumbnail where he's back shots with the fire around him.
Shots? No way.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
So it's like, remember that poster I showed you where it's like, this is from the first movie. Look how raw this is.
Oh yeah, I do.
Where it's like his spikes and he's going like,
mm-hmm.
That's from the uncut one, which was on Pluto the other day, and I was watching a little bit, but I was also doing something. I don't remember what. I just smacked my mic. And I was like, oh, I don't remember this scene. I need to watch this full movie. I will, though. I haven't yet. And I'm excited to watch Raids again and watch him get buried in ice for 20 minutes. Because that is a large chunk of the movie where they do that.
Well, right after that is Godzilla versus Kong, or Kong versus Godzilla. So,
which isn't on Pluto.
Yeah, I know. Does Dad have it? That's the
Yes.
only way we're gonna be able to watch it. We're gonna have to watch that one together, I think.
I have it, actually. It's in my closet thing.
All right, so we'd have to get together for that one. So, next time you come over, now that you have your own car, big boy. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry about my face. It won't happen again.
Please make sure it doesn't.
Also, I had like my blue lights for Godzilla.
This doesn't look as full as it does on camera than it does in real life. That's kind of weird. It's because in real life, there's hair right here that are like blonde. It's just not getting picked up on camera.
Yeah.
And I need to shave like my neck beard, but I'm thinking of just taking this off and just leaving the mustache.
Thank you.
But I might look like a pedo.
Thank you.
Hey.
I was trying to wrap up the episode. You had to come in and your
Well, you got to talk about your beard talk in the beginning.
Yeah, well, now I don't have a beard anymore, and I miss it. Anyways, so thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm going to try harder to promote this one than I did the other one because I knew nobody was going to watch the 2 hours. 1 hour is doable. So... use my 6 eyes on you. But anyway, so... don't look at him. He'll turn to stone. That's it. I don't know. Yeah, check out his shirt. I don't know how that's showing on my end, but I'm pointing directly at it on my end.
You know those shirts that have like people's like friends and loved ones on it when they die, unfortunately?
Mm-hmm.
Very related and very similar.
I bought that for him. There was like
Totally.
a set.
Yes. Totally not disrespectful what I just said. But yes, I have Godzilla, Rodan, King Ghidorah, and Mothra.
There's a couple cool shirts on Amazon I'm planning to get, so step up my Godzilla wardrobe. I want a Godzilla Hawaiian shirt now because I bought that one for you. And
Yeah.
jealous.
And it's finally the weather I can bring it back out.
Yeah. So we'll record an episode with that. I'll see if they have more. They're probably all AI generated now, but it is what it is.
Because mine, it's like Shin Godzilla, but he's blue.
Yeah, that one was kind of just somebody made it, and they're like, the authors
I don't want to get copyrighted. Make them blue.
True. So, thank you. This has been episode 3, which is, this might be our real first episode, depending. Just because this is the first episode of the first movie.
Well,
that's the first movie.
Technically second. Because King of the Monsters is like an American retelling.
Well.
2 years later. Also, this was the first movie where we did a movie that didn't just came out.
That's also true. I thought about after the fact, but I I kind of wanted to do Godzilla 2014 since we had just seen it a couple times. Because the anniversary of that movie was like a couple days ago, so that would have been cool. But
Let's wait till the Twitter guy finishes recreating the entire movie. Brighter.
yeah. All right. Thank you. Signing off.
Peace. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.